I know we laugh about it, but there's nothing funny about how everything in Nigeria is always upside down. Everywhere else in the world, from the US to France to the UK, protests are allowed. They protest about the littlest things and the biggest things. I'm in the UK today, walking around every city in this country. There are protests going on about Gaza, there are protests going on about Ukraine, there are protests going on about the economy, there are protests going on about almost everything. Different people protest for different things. Go to the city center anywhere near you, you will find protests. People with their flags, whatever it is they're protesting about, and the police is right there with them. The police simply man the important things, right? Because there will be hooligans, there will be vandals who want to ride on the protest, to create chaos, to vandalize shops. It is absolutely normal. It is absolutely normal. But to then turn every protester into a criminal before they have even gone on protest, and in that way deprive them of their constitutional right to protest, is unacceptable. In any democracy, the right to protect is sacrosanct, and you cannot take it away with threats or intimidation from citizens. Where the system has turned against the interests of the common man, his only recourse is actually protest. And that is why constitutions around the world, in every democracy, protect that right to protest. When the presidency has turned against the citizens, when state capture has happened to the judiciary and the legislature, and all of them do what the executive wants with no checks or balances, where the president controls security forces and all the apparatus of government, the only thing that the common man can do to preserve his interest is the right to complain. And protest is his right to complain. To say, I disagree with how you are governing, and my interests are not being protected in the way that I expected it to be when I voted for all these people who are supposed to protect my interests and are not doing it. We also have recall mechanisms in the constitution, which is a longer process of recalling people who are representing your interests. Nigerians need to realize that the people in government represent you. The electoral process means that you are the one who have put them there to do your bidding, to watch out for your interests, to make sure that your money is well spent. And so when they do not do that, you have a right to call them to order. Protest is one of those mechanisms. Do not let anybody gaslight you into thinking that you're doing something criminal or illegal by protesting. You haven't done anything wrong. You have a right to protest. If the state security services feel that they have information on people who want to use the protest for nefarious activities, they should act on that information like they do everywhere in the world. If you try to hide under a protest and you're communicating with people on destroying something, the SSS or whatever it is, the FBI, will arrest you. They will use the information that they have gathered, the intelligence they've gathered, and take it to court. They will do a raid on your home. They will take your laptop, whatever communication devices you use to plan it. They will take it to court as evidence. They will sue you and they will jail you. But they will not stop the protest because everybody else has the right to protest. And the fact that a few people want to capitalize on that protest should not stop the protest. You should use that intelligence to treat criminals as criminals. And for those who haven't done anything wrong yet and want to join the protest to do something wrong, you wait until they do it. It is a failure on our security services to tell us that the only way they can guarantee security in Nigeria is to stop people's fundamental rights to protest. Only because you're afraid that a few elements are going to use that protest for criminal activity. It means you're a failed police force. It means you're a failed security system if you cannot go after perpetrators of crime when they have committed the crime. So nobody should be able to hide under protest to commit a crime. If they vandalize somebody's shop, even if it's en masse, as the police, you should do your investigation. You should arrest all of them. You should have CCTV cameras. If you hadn't eaten all the money, we should have used to have CCTV cameras all around Lagos. All around this country should have CCTV cameras everywhere. So that you can let people do what they want, and then after the fact, investigate and catch the criminals. So out of 10,000 people, if 1,000 of them vandalize shops, you catch the 1,000 of them. But you can't stop the 10,000 from doing what they're supposed to be doing. And this is the turning it on its head that I do not appreciate. Nigerians have the right to protest. You shouldn't threaten them, you shouldn't intimidate them, you shouldn't stop them from doing so. You should do your job for which you are being paid a salary as the security forces, and make sure that anybody who capitalizes on this protest to vandalize and to commit crime are brought to justice before with intelligence you have gathered, or after with the intelligence that you will gather and the investigation that you will do. Point made.